Hi Nathan, I'm so glad you came back. Let me see you again.
How did you do?
Very good. Did you find the place all right?
I did, much better than last time.
Alright, great. So last time we were just getting some of the administrative stuff out of the way. I was wondering, do you have any specific topics you want to talk about today?
I do. My uncle is back in the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is he doing all right?
No, honestly. He's going to die very soon. It's more a question of days, weeks, or months at this point.
I'm very sorry to hear that. How has this been affecting you? Are you close with him?
I've never been terribly close to him. He has type 2 diabetes, so he developed it when he was very young. So that's been affecting him his whole life. He's been in foster homes for most of the time, people that can provide him on-site 24/7 care. So it's, no, never really been an environment when we've been very close.
How has this been affecting your family? Are you from a large family or a small one?
I'm from a tiny family, and it is embarrassingly tearing them apart. He has 2 siblings, my mother and my aunt. My aunt is the one who's in charge of the care financially and has power of attorney, making all the medical decisions. And she is really into control. She has a control problem. She's just one of those people, and is very much trying to retain control of this situation and give him all the care that's possibly available. My mother, on the other hand, is feeling as though it's time to put him into hospice care. And to the rest of our family, we all sort of agree with my mother in that regard, but there's no changing my aunt's mind on this, and she is the one with control of this situation, and it's really quite awful.
You mentioned earlier that you felt embarrassed by this. What aspect of the relationship are you embarrassed about?
Oh, just that, well, that my aunt is refusing to entertain any suggestions that she might not be going in the correct direction, and my mother, recognizing this, is trying to see what sort of power she can take, trying to talk to doctors about changing the care, talk to nurses about changing care, doing all of this stuff that's sort of trying to circumvent my aunt's authority, which, while she's doing it for the right reasons, I really would like unanimous consent on the best way to deal with this life and death situation of their brother, and not a power struggle dealing with this like not mature adults.
It sounds like you're worried that your uncle might be pushed to the wayside because of the fighting about it, or that you just want him to get the best care that he can, but you want your family to agree on that?
Really, I just want to retain respect for my relatives. I mean, obviously I want my uncle to get the proper care, and, you know, without taking sides on this argument necessarily, really what's killing me is that we're not able to, as a family, deal with this situation in a way that I feel is warranted, necessary, proper.
Is this the only time you felt that your family might not be working as a cohesive unit despite its size?
Yes, actually. This is really the first issue that's come to light that's really made me feel this way.
So, with regards to your uncle, is he close to you currently, like, location-wise, or where is he held right now?
He's in Plymouth, Massachusetts, so I am the closest physically relative to him. the aforementioned aunt is in New York City and my parents are up in New Hampshire. I have been out to visit him, but because we've never been that close, I tried to sort of sit by the bedside and chit-chat. Not that we really have anything in common, but I at least made a solid attempt, and he was fairly dismissive, which I'm not sure if he just felt uncomfortable that we've never really been close, and so he felt as though it was kind of forced, or I don't know. But I always assumed that he would be lonely and valued, that sort of thing. But he had dropped off some stuff that my mother had given me to give to him, and he more or less just said thanks and goodbye.
Right, you mentioned that you felt like you were dismissed. How did that make you feel?
Well, it was mostly that I didn't feel particularly bad about it in terms of my ego or whatever. It was more, just that I thought he would have valued that, and was sort of surprised that he wasn't more desperate isn't the word, yearning maybe for just spending time with his family, since he really doesn't see us much at all.
So you feel that, not that he's desperate for attention, but that you expected it to be slightly more appreciated. Do other members of the family visit him often, or?
Not really. When he's in particularly bad health as he is now, going through surgeries currently, my mother does make an effort to get down to see him every week, maybe every 2 weeks. But when his health is more balanced out, my mother sees him maybe once every other month, and my aunt maybe about as often.
I know that in our last session you had mentioned that you do go to Northeastern University. Do you find that any of this weighs on you during your studies?
Oh, absolutely. I've been useless for the past week. Because really his health could be a question of days at this point. It's possible that it'll be months, but at this point he's been on dialysis for more than a decade, and after a decade your chances of survival drop exponentially. I think it's been 12, maybe 13 years on dialysis at this point. And yeah, so it's really feeling like the end. And if my mother does somehow get her way and he goes into hospice care, it's going to be within the week, likely, that he dies. So I've been completely useless in class.
You brought up the fact that it's going to be the end of your uncle's life. Have you dealt with death in your life before? Has it affected you before? Like, are you prepared?
Yeah, I have. When I was 12 years old, my brother died. He was 19. And I was naturally much closer to my brother than I ever have been to my uncle. So I've done a lot of dealing with that. I never sought counseling for it, but yeah, I don't think this will be quite as devastating.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in again this week. I'm just going to wrap up now. I hope you can come back again next week. I definitely think we have a lot of things we can discuss. I am sorry for your uncle. And hopefully I will see you again next week, Nate.
Sure. Thank you very much.
It was lovely seeing you. Thank you very much.